On March 11, 2025, the world watched in astonishment as former Philippine President Rodrigo Duterte was arrested. Duterte had just returned to Manila from Hong Kong, seemingly confident in his immunity from international law. His demeanor was calm, almost defiant, as he walked through the airport with his entourage. However, the International Criminal Court, or ICC, had other plans. The ICC had been closely monitoring Duterte's actions for years. The ICC had issued a warrant for his arrest, alleging crimes against humanity. This was a significant move, signaling the court's commitment to holding leaders accountable. These charges stemmed from Duterte's infamous war on drugs, a campaign that had drawn international condemnation for its brutality. This brutal campaign was waged both during his presidency and his earlier tenure as mayor of Davao City. Duterte's approach had always been controversial, marked by a zero-tolerance policy and aggressive tactics. Duterte's arrest sent shockwaves through the Philippines and beyond. The news spread rapidly, with reactions ranging from shock to relief among the populace. It marked the first time a former head of state faced arrest based on an ICC warrant. This unprecedented event set a new precedent in international law. The charges against him were grave crimes against humanity, specifically murder, carried out on a massive scale. The scale of these alleged crimes was staggering, with thousands of lives affected. The ICC's action thrust the court and its often contested jurisdiction into the global spotlight. The court's decision was met with both praise and criticism from various quarters. The arrest was the culmination of years of investigation and legal wrangling. The ICC's legal team had meticulously built their case, leaving no stone unturned. The ICC had been examining allegations of extrajudicial killings and other human rights abuses linked to Duterte's drug war since 2016. The investigation had been thorough, involving numerous interviews and evidence collection. Duterte, known for his fiery rhetoric and disdain for international institutions, had vehemently denied the allegations and vowed to never cooperate with the ICC. His defiance was a hallmark of his political career. Despite Duterte's defiance, the ICC proceeded with its investigation, gathering evidence and interviewing witnesses. The court's determination to pursue justice was unwavering. In 2021, the ICC announced it had found reasonable grounds to believe that crimes against humanity had been committed in the Philippines in connection with the drug war. This announcement was a turning point in the case. The court authorized an investigation, setting the stage for Duterte's eventual arrest. This marked a significant moment in the fight for accountability and justice on the international stage. The International Criminal Court, or ICC, is a court of last resort, established to prosecute individuals for the most serious crimes of international concern: genocide, crimes against humanity, war crimes, and the crime of aggression. It was created to ensure that perpetrators of these heinous crimes are held accountable when national courts are unwilling or unable to do so. Its jurisdiction is not universal. It can only investigate and prosecute crimes in specific situations. The Philippines ratified the Rome Statute, the treaty that created the ICC, in 2011. This ratification meant that the Philippines accepted the ICC's jurisdiction over crimes committed on its territory or by its nationals. However, the relationship between the Philippines and the ICC soon soured. In 2016, Duterte launched his controversial war on drugs shortly after assuming the presidency. The campaign, characterized by widespread extrajudicial killings and human rights abuses, drew international condemnation, including from the ICC. Human rights organizations and various international bodies raised alarms over the thousands of deaths linked to the anti-drug operations. In 2018, the ICC initiated a preliminary examination into the situation in the Philippines, focusing on allegations of crimes committed in the context of the drug war. This move by the ICC was seen as a significant step towards holding those responsible for the abuses accountable. Duterte, outraged by what he perceived as an infringement on Philippine sovereignty, announced the country's withdrawal from the Rome Statute. He argued that the ICC was being used as a political tool against his administration. The withdrawal took effect in 2019. Despite the Philippines' withdrawal, the ICC maintained that it retained jurisdiction over crimes committed during the period when the country was a state party to the Rome Statute. This point of contention, whether the ICC could still exercise jurisdiction over a country that had withdrawn, became central to the legal battle surrounding Duterte's arrest. The debate continues to this day, highlighting the complexities of international law and the challenges of ensuring justice in a globalized world. The situation in the Philippines serves as a critical case study in the ongoing struggle to balance national sovereignty with international accountability. It underscores the importance of global cooperation in addressing crimes that transcend borders and affect humanity as a whole. As the world watches, the outcome of this legal battle will have far-reaching implications for the future of international justice and the role of the ICC in upholding human rights. The ICC's determination to pursue justice, despite the Philippines' withdrawal, sends a strong message about the enduring commitment to accountability and the rule of law. The world continues to grapple with these issues, seeking a balance between respecting national sovereignty and ensuring that justice is served for the gravest of crimes. This ongoing narrative will shape the future of international law and the quest for global justice. The ICC's authority to issue an arrest warrant for Duterte rests on the provisions of the Rome Statute, a foundational treaty that established the International Criminal Court in 2002. This statute is a critical instrument in international law, designed to hold individuals accountable for the most serious offenses, including genocide, war crimes, and crimes against humanity. Article 12 of the statute outlines the conditions under which the ICC can exercise jurisdiction. It specifies that the court can prosecute crimes if they are committed on the territory of a state party or by a national of a state party. This jurisdictional framework is essential for the ICC to function effectively and ensure justice is served. In this case, the ICC's jurisdiction is based on the fact that the alleged crimes were committed while the Philippines was a state party to the Rome Statute. The timeline of events is crucial, as it establishes the period during which the ICC can claim jurisdiction over the actions in question. Furthermore, Article 27 of the statute emphasizes the principle of complementarity. This principle ensures that the ICC acts as a court of last resort, stepping in only when national jurisdictions are unable or unwilling to prosecute serious crimes. It underscores the importance of national legal systems in the pursuit of justice. This principle holds that the ICC is a court of last resort, intervening only when national courts are unwilling or unable to genuinely investigate and prosecute the most serious crimes. It is a safeguard to ensure that justice is not denied due to the failure of national systems. The ICC argued that the Philippines had shown no genuine willingness to hold those responsible for the drug war atrocities accountable. This lack of action on the part of the national government necessitated the ICC's intervention to ensure that justice for the victims was pursued. Despite the Philippines' withdrawal from the Rome Statute, the ICC asserted that its jurisdiction over crimes committed during the country's membership remained unaffected. The withdrawal did not absolve the Philippines of its responsibilities under the statute for actions taken while it was still a member. Article 127 of the statute allows for withdrawal, but it explicitly states that such withdrawal shall not affect any cooperation with the court in connection with criminal investigations and proceedings in relation to which the withdrawing state had a duty to cooperate and which were commenced prior to the date on which the withdrawal became effective. This provision ensures continuity and accountability. In essence, the ICC argued that Duterte's withdrawal from the Rome Statute did not erase the Philippines' obligations under international law for crimes committed during its membership. The international community relies on such legal frameworks to maintain order and justice. The court's position was clear. Withdrawing from the statute could not be used as a shield to evade accountability for grave crimes. This stance reinforces the ICC's role in upholding international justice and ensuring that perpetrators of serious crimes are held accountable, regardless of political maneuvers. Duterte's arrest ignited fierce debate about the ICC's jurisdiction and its implications for national sovereignty. Critics of the arrest argued that the ICC had overstepped its mandate by pursuing charges against a former head of state from a country that had withdrawn from the Rome Statute. One of the primary arguments against the legality of the arrest centered on the principle of state sovereignty. Proponents of this view argued that the ICC, as an international tribunal, lacked the authority to infringe on the Philippines' sovereign right to govern its own affairs. They maintained that Duterte should be held accountable, if at all, through domestic legal mechanisms, not by an external court. Furthermore, Critics questioned the ICC's jurisdiction over a country that had explicitly withdrawn from the Rome Statute. They argued that the Philippines' withdrawal, regardless of the timing, signaled a clear rejection of the ICC's authority. By proceeding with the arrest warrant, they claimed, the ICC was acting beyond its legal purview. The issue of selectivity also fueled criticism against the ICC. Detractors pointed out that the ICC had primarily targeted leaders from African and other developing countries, while seemingly ignoring alleged crimes committed by powerful states. They accused the court of bias and argued that its actions against Duterte were politically motivated. Even when circumstances change, the obligations of a treaty endure. Treaties, once ratified, create binding commitments for the parties involved. These commitments are not easily dismissed and often require a formal process to alter or terminate. It's important to remember that international treaties are foundational to maintaining global order and cooperation. They represent promises that transcend political shifts and changes in leadership. So, the endurance of treaty obligations underscores the importance of careful negotiation and commitment in international relations. Upholding the authority of the International Criminal Court is crucial for maintaining global justice. Without it, the enforcement of international law would face significant challenges. Every successful prosecution by the ICC represents a victory for justice. It sends a powerful message that no one is above the law, regardless of their position or power. We may be entering a new era of accountability where leaders and perpetrators of heinous crimes are held responsible for their actions. This shift could transform the landscape of international justice. Navigating the complexities of international law is no small feat. It requires cooperation, dedication, and a commitment to upholding the principles of justice and human rights.